Then again, Ubisoft, you have shocked me in ways that I thought could not happen. As many of you are probably aware, Ubisoft have recently run their Six Siege Invitational event, one of the biggest events in the Six Siege community every single year, where we get a full rundown of the rough outline of the upcoming season or the year. In this, Ubisoft usually goes over map reworks, new operators, rough ideas, and it'll also give us a rough kind of framework, a roadmap. So this season invitational was actually really positive. A lot of good stuff was announced during it. I'll go over that first, then I'll get to the core subject of this video and why I'm rather irritated. And it's more towards just something that I feel is an oversight, or not an oversight. It's corporate greed in a way that I'm really not happy with. And I know some might find a petty inconvenience. I get that, but I'll go over my reasonings for why I dislike so much later on. Let's go in the good though. We have the announcement of the two new operators, Oryx and I forget the other one because it hasn't got as cool of a name as Oryx. Because Destiny fan here, baby. Oryx legend. I don't know what the other operator's name is though, but the other one can barge through walls like the fucking Kool-Aid Man, which I'm actually a bit of a fan of. Not a fan of the fact he can knock Monty down, but that's a whole other video. We got to see the Oregon rework, which wasn't a map I felt needed a rework, but what they've changed I think will actually be very beneficial to the map and spice up the gameplay. They also showed off the house rework, which was really cool, and I'm like, awesome. Is it making it to the ranked rotation? I don't believe so. I think it's more for casual. But nonetheless, House was a pretty decent map. Well, decent. It was fun to play on, but I think with a few edits, it had potential. And they've gone ahead and done that. Along with that, they announced the add-in of map ban systems, which is allowing you who in ranked to ban a map. That is really cool. I'm really happy about that, and it's going to be allow us to get more maps that we enjoy playing and have strengths in over our weaknesses. And they also announced, probably the biggest thing for me, the Chunker rework. My boy Chunker no longer mounted and loaded. Nah, he's unmounted as fuck and can run around with that LMG for free will, along with an incendiary grenade launcher, which I don't think is going to get too much practical use, but still pretty fucking cool. These are all positive things, and genuinely, I was really happy with this. The quality of it was awesome. We saw the announcement of the Ash Tomb Raider Elite as well. I think that's it's a really shitty Elite. I wouldn't recommend you buy it, but if you're a Tomb Raider fan, I guess yeah, if you want to go for it, you can. I just don't think Ash. The face just looks off for me, and I'm just not driving with it. But that's another cool thing they added in. A bunch of patches and bug fixes, some changes to operators that are pretty positive. Legion edits, Twitch edits to make it mainly now completely utility based. All good decisions. However, the real kicker came with the announcement of the roadmaps for the upcoming seasons. Now, on screen, I will be displaying the roadmaps. So, first up, we have the Year 5 roadmap. Now, as you can see clearly, we have Season 1, 2, 3, and 4 laid out for us like normal. In Season 1, we get our two new operators, a Oregon rework, and an event for the arcade playlist. This is a brand new kind of creative playlist to play around and have fun in, to not take the game nearly as serious. I'm all for this. I like Rainbow for its goofy side more than anything. That's cool. We have the continuation of the rather shitty Battle Pass system, and I'll get into that a bit later, but that's it too. Season 2, we see the two operators and the house rework. Awesome. We're continuing through. Now here's the kicker. Season 3 and Season 4, we're only getting one operator. Admittedly, we're getting the skyscraper rework and the chalet rework, but that also means we're not getting a single new map during Year 5. We're also getting two less operators than usual. Now, I want to go into why I'm even... This by itself annoys me, and I'll explain why that in a sec. However, I now want to show you the Year 6 roadmap. The Year 6 roadmap, we are only getting one operator per season, and the only other thing that they've confirmed to come along with it is more Battle Pass. So, why does this irritate me? Well, put it simply, I decided to look into the costings of these things. Obviously, I have no idea what the Year 6 pass will cost. I can't check that currently. However, I can see what the Year 5 pass costs. And it costs the exact fucking same amount of money as the Year 4 pass. And the Year 3. And the Year 2. Well, when they came out. They've been reduced now. Why is this a problem? You're getting less content for the same price. You're getting less new stuff to the game. Well, you can argue the arcade playlist, that's more for fancy game modes, which we get for free. That's not pass locked. And if it is pass locked, that's a problem that needs to be addressed. However, I don't believe it will be. Hopefully. I really hope. But nonetheless, that's not good enough. They tried to write this off as it allows them to put more time into adding new features into the game. That is fine. I am fine with you reducing the operator amounts. 100%. What I'm not fine with is you charging people the same amount of money for less. That's that simple for me. Usually you would get 8 operators per season for 40 AU. So, not bad. $5 for an operator on that price. Yeah, that's really good because it's usually about $8 to $10 AU for an operator if you want to buy them individually. So it's actually a really good deal. However, instead of the normal $5 for an operator, let's get my little calculator up here. So for $40, we're getting 6 operators. It's now up to $6.50. Oh, a little bit more than that, but 6.66, but that's beside the point. Now you're probably thinking that's not much of an increase. Okay, I come back at you. $40 is what it'll probably cost for next year's pass. I can't confirm this one yet, but judging by this, Ubisoft will continue doing this trend at the same price. For 4 operators, it rounds up to $10 per operator. You're now actually paying probably equal to or maybe slightly more for these operators than you are to buy them individually. Now do you see my issue with this? On top of that, Ubisoft is continuing to push their Battle Pass system, which, guess what? Currently, you do not get with the Season's Pass. You have to buy it individually for the premium track. Now, this could be standard and corrected. They could actually be adding in the new year, where you get the pass thrown in you get the Battle Pass thrown in with the Season's Pass. Okay, a little bit more okay with that. You're getting more value. You're actually getting some free cosmetics and so forth thrown in there with the pass. Okay, I can understand your pricing of this. However, if you're telling me I am paying the exact same amount for the less amount of operators and no added benefits, you're taking the fucking piss. On top of the fact that Rainbow Six is still a paid game, that they are now still a paid game. It's only about 20 AU currently, which is fine. I'm happy with it. It's good that it's at that price. However, they're charging you $40 to $50 every year if you want to get the new operators straight away on release. You don't have to do this if you play the game enough. You can earn it freely. This is just a generalized thing on how their microtransactions are handled. Now, on top of that, they have their store system, which admittedly is better than a lot of other microtransactions. However, once again, it's a paid game. I can't in good faith always say that if it's a paid game, you can have microtransactions, even if they're just cosmetic stuff. I dislike how heavily it's forced. Admittedly, it's better than a lot of other stuff. The real kicker, though, is now they add the Battle Pass on top of that, which is another 10 to 15 AU. You want to do the math on that? You're paying about, well, if you got this game released, you paid $100 because it was a full price game. And for US, it's about 60. I'm not going to do US conversions here. Sorry, guys. That's just how it is. Just usually assume it's here's a frame reference. 60 US is roughly what you guys pay for a full price game. It's 100 AU down here. Use that as a bit of a point of reference. So 100 AU for the game. If you bought on release, nowadays it's about 30 to $20. That's a good deal. I'm fine with that. Okay, sure. On top of that, you're paying 40 to 50 per year if you want to get the content early. Again, you don't have to do this, but it's heavily incentivized by the advertising, the pushing, and the whole hype around new operators and giving them early to try them and see if they're any good, and potentially giving yourself an advantage in the first few things. Thankfully, I'm pretty sure they're disabled and ranked in the first week where they're not available to the public, like available to everyone else. I'm not sure on that. That's another thing. That's another point I should probably bring up in future, but that's something I want to bring up anyway. Then on top of that, we have the store system, which is admittedly the least egregious part of the whole thing. I'm not completely against the store system. I'm fine with it as a way to earn revenue. It's relatively fair in how it's advertised and done. I just feel like some of the pricing they put on their items in there is ludicrous, and it's the stuff you'd expect to see in a free-to-play game. And then on top of that, you have the Battle Pass, which is not included in the Seasons Pass currently, which is another 10 to 15. Keep it up. So if I was to have brought the game at launch, $100 for the game, we are looking at now at this point in time, 5 bouts of $40. So that's another fuck's sake. That's another $200. So we're at $300. Throw in the fact any microtransactions I got in. So I personally have probably spent about 70 to 80 on cosmetics in the game, including elites and skins that I liked, and like the April Fool's event because that was mad memes. So I'm going to say about $80. So 380. This is just rough estimates. This is just to prove a point. And then let's say I purchased the recent Battle Pass. It's about another 10 to 15. So I'm looking about spending $395 on a game. 295, around that up to 300. 300 of that is extra expense a ton on top of a full price game that I've already purchased. Do you see my problem? And now throw in the fact that the most recent purchase is for less than what I've been receiving beforehand. Ubisoft, you have done some great things with this game, and it has made some drastic improvements. And as an avid hater of the game in the past, and now someone who takes the piss out of it still but can have some fun on it, I really applaud you for your efforts. I do. But for the love of God, when it comes to this type of shite where you're charging us constant money for all this microtransactional crap in your titles, you have to start to look at stuff and decide how do you want to do this. Now, if you're wondering what my solution is, well, there's two routes you can go down. Number one, reduce the price of the Seasons Pass. If I'm getting less content, I don't give a fuck if there are excuses to make more gameplay features. I'm getting less direct content to me for my money. I'm a consumer. This matters to me. Lower the price. What do we figure out? It's roughly $5 per operator. Chop $10 off this one. Chop $20 off the next one. That's simple. If you don't do that, chop off a little more. Make it. You just go out. You have to make sure it's still worth my while to do this this pass. Second option, and the option I have been lobbying for the last few months, make Rainbow Six Siege on base a free-to-play game. That's simple. Rainbow as a free-to-play game will not cost you that much in your profit margins. It's only about $20 at regular now, so it's not going to hurt you too much, but it's going to it's going to get you a shit ton more players. I can guarantee you that. And then that way, your Battle Pass system being paid for, I don't give a fuck. You're a free-to-play title. You're free to monetize that however you want. And that's the type of person I am. When it comes to free-to-play content, go ahead, monetize it all you want. As long as there's no game-changing attributes thrown in there to incentivize it. As in, I don't mean operators can still in the game at a relatively decent pace. I mean like fucking weapon-altering shite. That's fine. Do that. That's simple. I'm sorry that this video had to come out, and you probably think it's a bit off topic because I don't usually touch on Rainbow that much, but I do play it a fair bit. It's just that this is something that's really bugging me, and I really wanted to address it because I don't think enough people are giving it the weight it should be given, in the fact of how much this is actually ripping off the consumer in the bang for your buck in essence. And especially if this is the trend's going to go with the removal of over half of your content in the next upcoming season. They really need to look at how they're marketing and their pricing and they're handling the whole game. That's just my opinion. That's my 2 cents. But I really want to get that out to you guys, and I want to hear your opinions on this. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? And if you do, why? And what do you think What do you think needs to be done for this transactional stuff in the game? I'm really curious. Anyway, it's been your boy Astrobat Divine. Sorry for a little bit more of a serious topic. It's not usually my thing, but I really want to talk on it. And if you like this type of stuff where I go in depth on recent things in games and discuss my thoughts and opinions on how I think it should be better, please let me know. It's kind of fun. I kind of like going into it. It's a little bit more serious than my usual content, but it's good. It allows me to express my views on certain things and get feedback on it. Other than that, I hope you guys have been enjoying my content lately. I know you're probably tired of hearing me push it, but please go check out my Twitch channel. That's where a lot of my multiplayer stuff is held, including Rainbow Six Siege, which I stream at least once a week, at least at the current rate I'm playing. So please feel free to come over and join us for some fun. It's a good time. We get drunk, we laugh, we do dumb shit. It's a brilliant time, and it takes Rainbow to the place it should be. Dumb fun. I might have some more Rainbow videos coming out soon, more serious stuff. I don't know. It really depends on you guys. Let me know if you want it. And other than that, I'm going to love you guys and leave you. Peace out.